Welcome to Drinks with Lucas. So today, instead of making cocktails, we're going to be making a rose syrup because I need it for a cocktail I plan on doing in the future coming up. So instead of just making it by myself, I figured I'd film it and share it with you guys. Maybe a couple of you will like to watch it. So the ingredients you're going to need is some dried rose petals. I kind of cheaped out a little bit. I got this for like $10 on Amazon. They're organic, food grade. Food grade, that is the number one thing. Food grade. Don't just go to your local store and pick up some random flowers and try to throw them in. You need food grade rose petals. I kind of don't love this brand. I mean, it looked like the Amazon driver tap dance on this. It's kind of dust, which for this is fine because it'll help absorb a lot of the flavor and the color and stuff. But I'd go with a different brand. But anyway, Amazon dried rose petals. Some rose water. You can pretty much find this in the grocery store, probably a little higher scale grocery store. And we need some sugar and some water. So let's get started. We're going to pour a half cup of water. I'm doing everything in a half cup. Obviously, if you want a bigger batch, you can do a full cup and just double this recipe. But I tend to find that half cup is a little bit better. I don't like to waste it. And it'll go bad in like about 2 weeks in a sealed jar. So half cup of water. All right, I have the pan started to heat up. Make sure it's on like medium heat. You do not want to boil this. Half cup of sugar. And then we're going to take a spoon. Of course, I'm not prepared. So I'm just going to grab a little bar spoon and just start to stir this a little bit. Kind of get it starting to mix up. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of the rose petals. And we're just going to kind of stir this and try to get it all mixed up inside and get a nice sloppy mess right here. So let's kind of bring this to a little bit below a simmer and just keep stirring. All right. Now that I've been stirring this for about 3 minutes, you can see it's absorbed a lot of that red color. It's not at a boil, but you can see some steam coming off of it. And just constantly stir it. Now I'm going to add 3 drops of rose water just for a little extra rose flavor. Stir that in. But this actually looks really good. You can see the color starting to absorb. And now we're going to set this off to the side to cool down for a little bit. Now this has cooled down a little bit. Get a smell test. This smells amazing. This actually came out better than I thought it would. It's a beautiful, rich red color. But now we got to strain it because we don't want to have little rose petals in our cocktails or syrups, wherever you're going to use this for. So we have a fine strainer, a little glass, and we're just going to pour all of this in here, straining it out. Let it sit for a little bit, because obviously there's a lot in the pan. Let's give it a little scrape. You don't want to waste any of this. Because what I end up doing is when I'm making my drinks, sometimes I mess up the drinks and then I run out of syrup, and we don't want that. So we're just going to press this through a little bit. See, I don't use dye in any of my stuff I do, and I don't have to with this because this actually, since the Amazon driver tap danced on these roses, I feel like it got a lot finer. And it's giving the color really nice. So that's about done. I'm gonna put this back here, and then we're gonna bottle this. All right, now we're gonna take our bottle. I get these at Home Goods, and yes, I do get looks at a 6'4" guy covered in tattoos going to Home Goods to shop for little bottles, but I don't care. So we're going to be pouring mixture into our jar. And boom, we have rose syrup. Smells super floral, super like roses. I could have gone away with making a full cup, but that's enough for the cocktails I need. So no waste. And that's how to make rose syrup. So the next syrup we're going to make is a rich turbinado. If I'm saying that wrong, sorry. Turbinado syrup for another drink I'm going to be making. So let's make that. All right, now let's make a rich turbinado syrup or Demerara syrup. So what you're going to need with this is some turbinado sugar or Demerara sugar. It's easier to find the turbinado in stores, but if you order online, you can find the Demerara. But it's real dark, very lightly processed. Sugar, rose petals, and water, and some of the rose water to drop in. So we're going to start off with our half cup of water, and then we're doing a full cup because it's 2 to 1, which makes it rich, of the turbinado sugar. And we're going to stir that in. Till it gets nice, sort of dissolved. And then we're going to take our dried food grade rose petals, a 1/4 cup, drop it in just like the other recipe. I feel like I'm baking. I feel like the rose petals, you have to like bake it in, but get those stirred up and then keep it on a low heat and just let it below a simmer where you can see a little steam coming off, but it's not like fully boiling. You don't want to burn the roses and have a nasty flavor in your syrups. Just like last time, we're going to add our 3 drops of rose water and then give it a little bit more of a stir. You get a nice rich syrup here. You can see the nice red hue to it, but it's going to be a little bit darker because it's obviously the darker sugar. You won't be able to see the red as much, but it's looking good. So now that this is pretty much, and you see some steam coming off of this, we're going to pull it off and let it cool down for a second. Since it's cooled off, we're going to take our mixture and fine strain it into our little Pyrex. Get all that goodness in there, let it strain out. All right, take the spoon, mush it down a little bit, make sure you get all of it. Let it sit for a couple of minutes. Let all of it drain out so you don't waste any. All right, now we're gonna pour it into our little jar. You hear my dogs running up the stairs, my little basement bar. And we have a rich turbinado simple syrup. Can't wait to make the 2 cocktails. We have both of them right here. You can see how thick this one is. This one's going to be good, and how light this one is. So stay tuned for the 2 cocktails, or maybe watch this video because you want to make a tea with it, or ice cream, or I don't know. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.